Okay, so in our previous session, we have seen that what are the different classifications of materials. Namely, we have seen that isotropic, orthotropic, and anisotropic. Today, let us see about engineering data cell. So, engineering data cell is the one of the most important cell available in ANSYS itself, and what are the features are available, and how can I create a user defined material, and what are the properties are needed. So that will be detailedly explained in our session. Let's get into the topic. Okay, so engineering data cell. So you can use the engineering data cell by two ways. So if you are dragging any of the systems over here in the project schematics, so defaultly engineering data will be always available in that system. So or else if you want to use the engineering data standalone, so you can choose from the component system also. You don't have any constraint over here, right? So but there is some difference between that standalone component as well as the engineering data cell in the systems itself. Okay, so first let us see, I have two different systems over here. So one is static structural system and another one is transient thermal system, and a standalone component called engineering data. So first I will double click on that engineering data in static structural itself. So this is engineering data pop-up opened over here. So whatever you have seen in the screen, so this is called filtered engineering data. So how can I create a user defined material? So you have seen that outline of the engineering data, and what are the properties. These properties is nothing but the properties of the structural steel. So defaultly in every system, the default material is set it as a static structural steel. So if you want to change, you can change it also. And so here you can see that what are the density and Young's modulus, Poisson ratio, bulk modulus, the properties which is related to the structural steel. And you have a tools box. If you want to add the additional informations or additional properties, you can add from here. So both linear elastic properties and strength properties, life properties, that is also available over here. So if you want, you can just double click over that, so that property will be added on over here. So everything is okay. So how can I create a new material? So you have an option to create a new material over here. So just click on here and type the material name. So if I want to create a material magnesium, so just type the name and click on enter. So our new material will be created, but there is no properties over here, so we need to create the property also itself. So what I will do is I just click the plus icon over here. So physical properties, I need the density. So if I double click the density, a density properties will be available. So you can easily say that we have a yellow color box over here. So if you want to give the density, so just double click over that and give, I just give us a value of 6500 and say that value will be entered. So after you enter the particular value, the color will be changed into a blue color. So if you want to change the units, you can obviously change from here. So right now it is in kg meter. If you want to change into a gram centimeter square, so that is also possible. So the corresponding value will be updated. If you change the units, that value will be always updated, which is related to that particular which unit system you have selected over here. So whatever the unit system you want, you can change and give the particular values itself. So I don't want kg, so grams, so I can switch over to kg. Okay, so and I need to add that properties of Young's modulus and Poisson ratio, so that will be available in the linear elastic column. So if I drag over here, so again it asks me for which type of material it is. So that is why I am previously add a video which is related to materials classifications. So you need to obviously know about that material, whether it is an isotropic material or orthotropic material or an anisotropic material. So right now I am assuming that magnesium is the isotropic material. So if I double click it, that isotropic properties will be added over here. So we have a derived from Young's modulus on options, or else if you want to change, you can drag and drop and you can change where it actually derived from. So this is basically used to calculate the bulk modulus and shear modulus over here. So you need to specify the Young's modulus. You want to change the units, you can change from here. So from Pascal to megapascal, so that is also possible. And so my Young's modulus value is 1035. Okay, 103235. Okay, and Poisson ratio should be 0.6. Okay, sorry, 0.6. So I just randomly give the value. So you guys are already aware of Poisson ratio doesn't have any unit system, since it is lateral strain divided by longitudinal strain. So whatever the values you need, you can give over here. And so how can I save? So it is automatically saved. So right now this Poisson value is not suitable for here, so I can change to 2 since it needs me a isotropic temperature. So for which temperature it is actually measured, so I say it's 16. And whatever the necessary information you can add it over here. So right now I just deleted the isotropic elastic properties, so I just only need a density property itself, so that is enough for me. So now the magnesium material is created. Okay, so I can use this material to my project. So if I close the engineering data, don't close that engineering data over here. So if you close over here, the entire software will be closed. So if you are a newcomer, you obviously closes over here. So just close over here. So you have a small cross symbol over here, and just click on this. So you can return to the project schematic windows. Now the newly created material is added. So if you go to your geometry, you can select the particular material. So whatever it is, you can defaultly it is assigned as a structural steel. So you have to change the material to the new material you have created, that is magnesium. Okay, and what are the other features available here? So we have two different sets. One is filtered engineering data and another one is data engineering data source. What is the main difference? Filtered engineering data means which is related to your current project. So now we have one separate system, that is static structural. So whatever the material I created over here, I can only use this material for this particular project itself. I cannot use this material for another project or another system. So right now you have seen that I have created the material in this engineering data. I can only use in the system itself. I cannot use the material in transient thermal, or if I drag and drop a model analysis or random rigid dynamics, whatever it is, I cannot use the particular material because it is added only in my filtered data. So that is only accessible by the particular system itself. So if you want to create a material which is accessible by universally all the projects, or else if you close the project, you can use the you can create a new project on tomorrow or whatever may be. So that material or you have created over here will be added in your library. So how can I add a new material in library? So that is why we have an option called engineering data source. So if you click on the engineering data source, so you have plenty of engineering data which is defaultly added in ANSYS itself. In filtered engineering data, only you have only you have one material. So that is static structural, not static structural, structural steel. So if you want another material like aluminum or silicon or whatever it may be, both linear materials or non-linear materials, you can add up from the engineering data source. Just click on the engineering data source. Here you have different types of folders like general materials, general non-linear materials, and explicit, hyperelastic, thermal materials, like whatever the materials we need, you need. So you can select over from here. So I need, for me, general materials I needed. So since I don't perform any non-linear analysis, so I can directly access the material from here. So when I click on that materials, So it readily show me what are the materials are available in that general materials. Right now we have a air, aluminum alloy, and concrete, copper alloy. So and some other materials are we have. So how can I add the material to my projects or to the filtered engineering data? So it's very simple. So we have a plus icon over here. So whatever the material you need, just click on the plus icon. So right now I need a stainless steel. So I just place my cursor over the plus icon and just click on OK. So now a bookmark will be added over here. So that means this data is added to my engineering data, that is filtered engineering data. And if you want a titanium alloy, you can add the plus icon. So a book symbol will be added over here. So if I close the engineering data source, now in my filtered engineering data source, I have previously created the magnesium, as well as I have recently added the stainless steel and aluminum alloy. So that is also available in this project. So whatever the material you need, you just click on and you can go to the project, or else you can change the materials, where else which component is made up of which material. So that is also possible. And so how can I create a new material in that general materials folder or general non-linear materials? In defaultly you cannot change or edit any of the data over here. So you see, if I double click over here, so I cannot change the properties over here. So this is a property of structural steel. So if you want to change the density or Poisson ratio, that is not possible. So how can I edit? So you have an option called edit. So which library you want to edit? So I want to edit the general materials. So just click on the tick icon. So now you can edit the materials over here. So whatever the materials, if you want to edit the structural steel, you can edit the values over here. So if I double click on it, so I can readily change the values. So whatever the changes I made, so that will be reflected over here. So or else if you want to change one value, but obviously you need that system also existing, so you can readily duplicate the particular system. Right now I want to change the Poisson ratio of aluminum alloy. So just right click on the aluminum alloy and say duplicate, and aluminum alloy 2 is created. So if you want to rename the system, that is also possible. If you double click and you can rename the materials. So sample 1, so I can rename this as a sample 1. So I want to change the Poisson ratio from 0.003, okay, 0.33 to 0.6. So I have changed that value, but it prompts me to need an additional data. So 0.3. Okay, so I want to change the density value. So from 27702 to 365. Okay, so whatever the values I just given over here. So if you want to change the desired sample 1, so all you need is just unclick and it prompts you to save. Do you want to save it? So if you say yes, that particular sample will be saved. So right now it shows me an error. You can obviously save that particular material over here. So if you click on save, that is obviously saved, right? So right now I don't need this material, so right click and say delete. That sample 1 is deleted. And if you want to create a new material, so you can obviously click here on new materials. So just click on the name, so alloy 261, and whatever the properties you need, you can just add it over from here. So density, and I need to add the strength properties, yield strength. And for example, if I want to perform this alloy as a fitting analysis, I need a SN curve. So I can add a SN curve over here. So for SN curve, you need to create a tabular column. So which cycle and what is its alternating pressure. So you can, so 20. So alternating stresses 1 to 3. So and 30. So readily you can create the value over here. So 30 to 65. So a curve will be generated, so according to the values you have provided over here. So this is called SN curve. So we will directly explain what is strength, what is SN curve, what is the relation between stress and strain. So this will be clearly explained in our fatigue analysis session. So for every session we have a separate theory session as well as a practical session, how to use that, how to solve a problem by using this software. So we will see in depth in our upcoming sessions. Okay, fine. So either you can add a new materials, or else right now I don't need this, I just delete this one. Okay, so whatever the necessary changes you have made over here, and click on check out this. I don't want to save any of this, I can say no. So all the materials will be defaultly normal back to its original state, right? So we have a separate n number of folders over here. So how can I create a new folder for me? So like general materials or general non-linear materials. So if you want to create a new material, so just click on to create a add a new library. So my library, or what I will say, so new library. So it prompts me to select a location, so I just select a location over here. File name will be new and say okay. So our new library will be created over here. So whatever the material you need, so you can just type the name. So alloy 561, say enter. So it prompts me to add the material data. So add a density, so that it prompts me to type the density value. So the density is equal to 2000 maybe. Now alloy 561 is created in the new library. So if I uncheck, so do you want to save? Yes, I want to save. Now the material is saved on the new library. In new library we have a alloy 51 material. Okay, so for some reason I need to transfer this material data to my colleague or my or else I just worked in my office system, so I want to transfer the material data. So for example, in my new library I have a six different types of materials. I want the entire material data to transfer to my personal laptops. How can I? So we have an option to save this. So this particular library is saved in a location. So in this location, so you can easily access in the name of new. So just click on that particular application. So right, so if I delete this from this list, how can I add that particular library again? So from here, just click on the over here. So just select this and say open. See, now the material is added over here. So likewise, you can easily readily share the .xml file to your colleague, or you can just copy that particular file in your pen drive or whatever it is. You can easily transfer the engineering data to any systems. Fine. So that is all about a overview of engineering data, and I just close the engineering data from here. And so we have some other two systems. So in transient thermal, so I have engineering data, but some interesting features over here. So do you notice anything in the toolbar? So only few options are available in over here. So that is thermal and physical properties. In physical properties itself, only a density. In thermal properties, isothermal conductivity and orthotropic thermal conductivity is only available. Why? Because we are in a thermal environment. So that is why in this engineering data only a thermal data will be available. There is no data which is related to structurals are available here. So if you want to create a material from here, you have the only option, you can create a thermal material or thermal properties related material itself. So in structural steel there is no thermal properties. in thermal itself there is no structural properties. If you want to create both thermal and as well as structural related materials, you can readily go to a standalone engineering data component. So just click on this. From here you have a material properties, density and linear elastic and strength, creep, life, and also you have the thermal properties, right? Isotropic thermal conductivity, orthotropic thermal conductivity, and the enthalpy, specific heat. So whatever the properties you can create it from here itself, or else you can add from the added to the engineering data sources. So that is also possible. So that is the main difference between the standalone engineering data and to a component. So the component engineering data is varied depend upon its uses. So whether it is a structural or a thermal, or else if you want to create it by properties, I need a structural properties as well as a thermal properties, obviously you need to go to a engineering data. So after that you can share the engineering data to any other systems so that you can work on. Okay, so there is no concern over here. So hope you will like the video. So that is all about engineering data cells. So if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up and click on the subscribe button. So see you on next video.